Hello and welcome back to another video. So in this video we are going to discuss the coding problem, which is guess the operator, and it was also asked in some of the previous year question papers, and some type of modifications were also done to the concept behind this question as well. So make sure to watch the video till the end, and also I would request you to subscribe to the channel if not already done, and also subscribe to our Telegram channels for all the latest updates on all our videos. So let's look at the problem and try to solve it. So the problem says, given two integers a and b, we need to perform an operation a hash b, where hash can be any operator among these, which is the multiplication, subtraction, addition and division operator. Perform an operation in such a way that a hash b gets maximized, and we have to return this in the form of a string. So the value or the operation which is represented in the form of hash, it has to be returned in the form of a string. So let's look at the sample input and output. So the input will be first of all t, that is the number of test cases, and following it we will get two integers a and b as an input. We have to output the operator for a hash b, that is we have to output hash, which will make the particular operation maximum. So let's look at the input and output. First of all, we have the number of test cases, which is 2, and then we have the first set of input of a and b, that is 8 and 3. So the output here is star, and for the second input, that is 3 and -5, we have the output as minus operator. Now how is that possible? Let's look at the explanation for the first example. So the input is 8 and 3, and the following are the outputs. So 8 plus 3 gives 11, 8 minus 3 gives 5, 8 into 3 gives 24, and 8 divided by 3 gives 2.66. So the value is maximum for the multiplication operator, as the answer is 24, which is the maximum. Similar case will be followed for the input A and B as 3 and -5, wherein the value for 3 minus 5 will be the least. Similar will be the case for 3 comma -5, where minus will give the value which will be the least among all the given operators. So I hope you understood what is the problem all about. So let's look at an example now. So I hope you got the explanation of what the problem is all about, and now let's try to solve this problem. So we have the same question which we just showed on the slides, and let's now try coding it. So what will be our approach? The approach will be very simple. What we need to do is, since there are only 4 operators, so we can calculate each of them and store them in a list. And once we do that, we will check that the maximum value inside of a list, we will find out the index, and we will map the values at the indexes with a particular operator. So let's try to solve this question and see how we can achieve our desired result. So first of all, let's handle the input. What we want to do is take the input as follows. So we have two integers which will be our input. So we write a comma b equals to map int input dot split. So now our input is handled, and for this question what we can do is either define a function which will carry out all the operations which we want to perform, or else we can directly write everything which we want in our program in this particular main function itself. So I will go with the second approach because that is more convenient. So we will define a list which will contain the results. So let's write res, which will be a list. And then what we will be doing is, since we know that there are only 4 operations which we have to perform, so I can run a loop for 4 times. And what I will be doing is this. So let's just write the code and let's look at what we want to do and how we can achieve things by writing the code. So first of all, I would write a loop. So for I in range, and since there are just 4 operations, that is the arithmetic operations which are described in the question, so we know that it is only up to 4 times, so we will run the loop 4 times. But in this case, as I mentioned, we will be mapping the index values of our list with the particular operations. So what I want to do is, if I equal to 0, which means if we are at the value of I equals to 0, what I want to do is append the value a plus b inside of our list. And similarly for other 3 operations we will be writing the code. So we have written these 4 if conditions. So what we are doing is, basically, if the particular value of I is either 0, 1, 2 or 3, sorry, it's 3 here. So if the value of I is 0, 1, 2 or 3, then what we will do is, since we are having just 4 operations, we are performing them, and for each operation we are doing a different kind of operation on our two values a and b. So if the value of I is 0, we are just performing an addition and we are storing the value inside of our list. And in similar manner we are doing the same for multiplication, division and subtraction as well. Now comes the important part. What we want to do is, we want to check out that what is the maximum value inside of our list. If we find the maximum value inside of our list, which we will, then we need to check for the index of that maximum value. And as I mentioned that we have mapped the indexes with certain operations. So for example, at the 0th position inside of our list, we know that the result for the addition operation is stored. And in similar manner for index 1, index 2 and index 3, the values of subtraction, multiplication and division on the given numbers a and b will be stored respectively. So we know that we just have to check for the index of the maximum value inside of our list. So what we can write is, if result dot index, and since we are finding for the max value of this list, if it is equal to 0, then in that case we will output plus. But since the question has said that we have to output it in the form of a string, we can do it like this, and I will just copy this particular line of code. If it is 1, then we will print minus. If it is 2, then we will print multiplication, that is the answer will be star in that case. And the last condition, which is 3, if that is the case, then we can write division, and we are done with our program. So that is the program. Now let's just try and check out if there is any kind of mistake or any coding error. Alright, so first of all we give the sample input. We have 2, which is the number of test cases, and then we pass 8 and 3. So you can see that the output is star, since 8 3s are 24 and 24 will be the maximum value out of the given operations. So let's look at the second example, which in this case was 3 and minus 5. So you can see that the output is minus, and that is the program all about. So this question is kind of easy, but the description of this question makes it look different or some kind of a hard question. However, it is not that hard. You could have also done this with the help of dictionary, wherein you could have key and value pairs and you could have find the maximum value from the dictionary, but that would be a little bit time consuming, and the same can be obtained using list. So we have done it using list. And I've seen many people are asking for the answers in C, C++ or Java. The reason we are not providing those answers in these languages are that since most of the languages have common tools except C, which does not include support for many kind of operations which you can do in C++, then in that case, since you have all those features in every language, it doesn't make sense to write the same thing in different languages. And since the most important thing which we have concern with is the understanding of the code for the students, so in that case Python is the best. And I think for any programming competitions or any upcoming companies, they also support Python as a language. So even if you understand it in Python and if you know Python, you can still write the code in Python, or else you can write the same code in other languages as well. So thank you for watching this video up till now. If you have watched this video and got something out of it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, join our Ribox family, and also I would request you to join our Telegram channel as well. As a gentle reminder, we have started crash courses as well for Wipro NLTH examination, which is just around the corner. So if you have not subscribed to our channel, make sure to subscribe once again. And as always, keep learning and keep programming.